All right, everybody. It's good to see you all here. I do want to say if you get pure vanilla for gnats, that's some great advice, Marie. Does that really work? That's good. Um, it's definitely this is definitely a great platform. I'm going to start with that. And someone sees my Return of the Jedi. Absolutely. I got all three of them there. Big Star Wars guy. But anyway, going to jump in here. I do want to let you know that if you have questions as we go, please put them in the comment section. Obviously, I can't hear you all because we have the host and panelist thing going on here, but I am going to keep my chat open as we go. And really, what I'm going to do over this little moment that we have together is I'm going to get in here, show you some of the numbers that we're seeing so that you know that this is legitimate, that we're actually having success. I want to give you the proof in the pudding, let you see that we're not just telling you that this is working well, but then show you that it actually is giving us a ton of success. And then after that, I'm going to go into showing you how we're selling these, the process that we're training our agents to use, the process that we're training our partners to use, whatever. I'm going to show you the process that we're training on in order to close these at an effective rate. Then we'll talk about retention to some degree. What are we doing to do that? But I'm also going to give you the compliance key points that we've learned from. Justin mentioned the compliance tool that is in Enroll here. We love it. It's actually helped us get better on a compliance standpoint. We were already very good at it, and I'll share some compliance numbers on our end as well. We were already very good on the compliance. We're a very compliant business. We try our best to be better all the time, and the tool within Enroll here has done that. It's helped us get even better at that, and we're seeing success there too. This is a fantastic plug and play tool. Enroll here. It's very plug and play. It is extremely simple, and you're going to see that as we get into this call. You're going to see that it makes a couple things easier. The first thing is sales. It makes sales so easy for a Medicare agent. The one thing that I have found that is a common problem, a common denominator problem for agents in the Medicare space that they maybe complain about, especially the LOA. I know a lot of you here who are agency owners, you're looking to hire LOA. The one problem that you'll get when you start to hire agents, or maybe you're having this problem yourself, is that agents do not love prospecting. And that's in all sales. Can I get an amen from anybody in here? We have these agents, or maybe you're an agent, and you spend all this money on marketing, and then you hope that 10% of them answer when you call them, and then you hope to close 20% of that 10%. Now we've spent all day long, we've spent a whole day closing a few deals. Well, what's happened with what Enroll here has changed for us is now agents don't sit there and prospect all day long. Now, what they're doing is they're taking calls from people who are interested in talking to them, right? They're taking calls from people so they're sitting there, they click available in the dialer. I'm going to show you all of that. They click available, and now this agent is sitting there taking calls, inbound calls from somebody who's seen an ad and is wanting to talk to somebody about said ad, rather than sitting there dialing a number over and over, calling triple dialing, right? Calling three times, ring, 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 oh, didn't answer, ring, 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 didn't answer, ring, ring, didn't answer, voicemail. Or you call them three times, they answer, and now this person's like, why are you calling me? Right. So we're hoping that there's some conversion there. But we had agents. Can we get a recording of this by chance? I have an appointment I couldn't move in 15 minutes. I'm sure that there may be, I know there's a recording in progress. So we'll see if we can't get that. We can't get that in there and ready to go and get that out to everybody. I'll endeavor to take a look at that, Justin. But what I'm getting to is we have eliminated in our office the need to prospect to our LOA team, because now what they do is they sit and wait to take calls. And I know many of you, and you can comment me if this is you, Many of you, the reserve that you have is you say, okay, well, if you're taking calls, I bet these calls are generated by leads about free benefits, or you're getting calls that are about you're getting calls that are going to be from people who are not high intent, or you're getting low quality customers through the call. Maybe you've had that thought, and that's okay. I completely get that thought process. I understand where you're coming from. But what we've seen with our businesses now, we maybe aren't getting the T65 business off of this. We're not getting the high quality referral that we're getting off of our locally branded stuff, but we're getting so many calls and so many closes, right, off of this. And we're getting so many people to talk to. The only thing that we had to figure out is, how do I turn this conversation into a sales conversation? What a lot of agents struggle with when they go to a lead source like this is they get in this struggle of like, well, this person wasn't wanting to have this high intent conversation. They called about a food card. I looked into their area. I can't get a food card. What do I do? Well, what we're training our agents to do is to turn that conversation into something that is helpful and valuable for the client, for the customer. And we're converting these at a very high rate doing that. And I'm going to go over all of that. If you think that's going to be helpful over the next few moments that you're together, comment in the comment section, awesome, whatever, something good. You can comment great, awesome, whatever. If you want to see the process that we're using in order to close these deals, you're going to see that we're having a lot of success for it. And in the beginning, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to be very transparent with everybody in the call. In the beginning, we were not closing at the percentage that we are now. It was a lot of cat and mouse. We would take calls and we're like, okay, how can we make this better? So now what you're getting today is not just the tool of Enroll Here and how it's awesome and it can eliminate prospecting. Now you're getting BBI, who has gone in here and has started to perfect this process and really maximize and enhance this tool. And we're going to give you how we're doing it, right? So you're getting this awesome experience here where not only are we giving you the tool that takes out prospecting, but we're going to tell you how you can close these at a high rate and get those high conversions and those low CPAs. How do we go about getting these calls? Website marketing, Facebook forms, to call or to call, click the call buttons on ads. It can be a couple different things, Bryce, but the main thing is these calls are coming in because someone saw an ad and they clicked on it. Cost per call, branding, cost per call. Let's start with that. It's a great place to start. What is Enroll Here? Enroll Here is a dialer primarily. It can do other things. It can track commissions. It can do. It pretty much makes sales management easier. But the main thing that you're all interested in right now is that it is a dialer, and there is a cost per call. The good news is the cost per call is not based on time spent with the customer or the prospect. The cost per call is literally a cost per call, whether that call takes 30 seconds or it takes an hour and a half, whatever, it doesn't matter. The cost is going to be the same. One thing that you can find promising and encouraging is that if for some reason somebody does click on an ad and they get sent to you, are the calls recorded? Yes, they are recorded, Michael. If the call gets sent to you, you're the agent that receives this call. If it's a raw call, and I will explain the differences here. If it's a raw call and this person hangs up within the first 10 seconds, then you don't get charged at all, right? If it's a screen call and they hang up within the first 30 seconds, you don't get charged for that call. So now are we not only are we eliminating prospecting, but now we're not paying for the duds, the absolute duds that had no interest in talking, right? So that's really cool. That's a really cool feature. And yes, the calls are recorded. They are stored within your admin account. So when you sign up for Enroll Here, you'll get sales accounts and you'll get an admin account. If you are the admin user, you'll have two accounts. You'll have a sales account and an admin account. I have both. And these calls will be stored within your account for you and easy to find. I'm going to show you all that. The calls are recorded. Yes, you have 30 seconds. That is correct. 30 seconds on the screen calls. Now let me explain. Raw and screen calls. A raw call is somebody who clicked on an ad and that call went directly to the agent. So it came directly to you with no gatekeeper. There's nobody that screened the call, right? That comes directly to you. This person called, you're the representative that picked up the phone for the first time. A screen call is a call that is handed off to you. It's a warm handoff to you, the agent, from somebody who has gate kept, screened the call. And when they screen the call, they ask questions like, do you have Medicare Part A and B? Are you interested in talking to an agent today about the benefit that you saw? Are you this? And so they're asking all these questions. And I know your first response is, oh, well, gosh, the screen sounds so much better. We're actually closing both at a great rate. I'm going to show you those numbers. I can break it down any way you want to see it. It's really cool. We're really closing these at a high level. Now, real quick, let me address this question. Is this similar to Lead Star? I have to be very transparent with you. I'm not familiar with Lead Star at all, so I couldn't tell you. I could do some research, but I would not be able to answer that efficiently right now. I'm not familiar with LeadStar. I do apologize. But this is a dialer, and it's probably very similar to a lot of dialers out there. Probably pretty similar, right? This is the one that we're using because it's so plug and play, and there's so many things that you can do with it. It's not just a dialer. And I'm going to get in here and show you that. Cost of calls before I jump in here and share my screen. On average, a raw call is going to cost you right at 20 bucks a month or per call. Sorry, $20 per call on a raw call, right? $20 per call on a raw call. Of course, if they hang up within the first 10 seconds, you do not get charged for that call. A screen call is going to be on average $28 per call. $28 per screen call. Again, if they hang up within the first 30 seconds, you don't get charged. Brandon says, not bad at all. Brandon, you are absolutely right, especially when we start talking about scaling and taking these calls at volume. I'm going to show you some crazy numbers here that are going to blow your mind. Now, I want to see in the comment sections, in the comment chat, the chat section, somebody, most of you actually, anybody who wants to participate in this, I want you to tell me what your average cost per acquisition is right now with the current lead flow that you're working. Can people give me an estimate in the chat section what they're spending? Perfect. I see a few coming through. Let me fix my screen here. Well, here we go. Pull this back up. Chat, 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 chat. All right, here we go. So cost per acquisition here. I got 200, 160 to 180, 250. I got a 70. That's very, very low. That's really good. Uh, Richard, everybody says they call T65 or after T65, right? I guess if that's a question, these are not necessarily for T65s, Richard. Justin Cropper says 125, got 180, got a 35. That's great. Now, for those of you who are at these cost per acquisition, somebody give me the average amount of closes that they're making per agent in their office. So if you're the main seller, or maybe you pick your top agent, I don't care. How many applications or enrollments are you doing on average, your top agent? Anybody want to answer that one for me? 12 per month. Okay. 12 per month. Anybody else got one? 30 to 40. Is that per week for the average agent? That's really good. 20 per month. Oh, Marie says per month. Okay. Very good. Very good. 28 per month. Okay. Very good. And I see somebody, Jordan has a hand raised. I don't know what I can do with that. Jordan, I'm paying attention. If you want to maybe comment in the chat section what you want to say. 8 per week. Old Jacob Lovelady. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Lovelady. We used to call him the Core App Goblin when he was in this office with us. Very good. Very good. Uh, Jordan had a hand raised. I'm not seeing anything in here, and I don't know how to make somebody where I can hear them, but I'll be looking for your comment in the section, Jordan. Brian Penner, our first month. Here we go. I'm loving this. This is good stuff here. This is Brian Penner, who is on the platform. Our first month with enroll here, and we had an agent on. She did 60. Our CPA was 106, still learning. Yep. So that takes me, that's a good segue here. Jordan, oh, here we go. Accident, my bad. Jordan said accident on the hand raise. Okay, very good. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to actually let you guys see my admin portal here. Perfect. Can everybody see that? We all see my screen here. We're all seeing that. Very good. Yes. So we're all saying, yep, 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 yep. I want y'all to see what we're seeing here, right? This is my admin portal. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, show you some things here. But these are the numbers that we're seeing now. This is just the last 30 days is what I have pulled up for you. This is our internal team, our LOA team here that's working. And I'll show you, I have about 8 agents that are working this. And I want you to see something here. We have taken right under 2,000 calls. We've closed 622 of those. So in the last 30 days, between 8 agents, we have closed 622 deals. That's not including cross-selling, by the way. That is just the enrollments that we're making, right? If I put cross-sells in there, we actually have written about 100 more cross-sells. We've written about 750 total policies in the last 30 days using Enroll Here, right? 622. Bryce says, is it built in the Go Guru yet? It is not yet. It is not yet. How many agents do you need for an admin account? From Sean. Sean, 1 agent, 1 admin account. You got to have an admin. You'll get an admin account no matter what, actually. Right here, we've got, oh, it's going here. It's going here. Fast, fast, fast. Let me get back in. How many states a minimum should you be licensed in to generate enough calls? Tom, we'll get to that. I'll tell you what we're doing. Does this work for independent agents or is it just for agencies? No, Ryan, this works for independent. It actually is designed for smaller agencies and independent agents in mind so that you can compete with the big call centers. That's what we're talking about, crushing the competition. Marie says, I have to go to an appointment. Hope you have to get a recap. Absolutely. We'll make sure people get that. How many call queues are you guys working? I'll go into that in just a moment for you. Eric, you'll see it's not that many. Can you explain where it says cost per sale? Yes, I will explain that. What is the subscription fee? And Virginia, I'll go ahead and tell you the subscription fee is right now $250 per seat per month. So each agent that you want on there is going to be $250 per seat per month. Chris says this, can we take questions later? That's actually a really good idea. I'm going to jump right into this. I'm actually going to close my chat. So I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring questions, but I do want to get in here and show this, right? I want to show this as we're going. If you have a question, write it down for me and I'll take them at the end. But I do want to go ahead and jump in here and I want to show you guys some things that are important to me. So 622 applications submitted, right? In the past 30 days. That's between around roughly 8 agents. And then I have here, check that out. Cost per sale, $65.09. CPA is $65.09 over the last 30 days between 8 agents who are actually all fairly new agents, by the way. These are not highly experienced salespeople or agents that we're closing $65.09 per acquisition. As you guys can see here, this is a very, very low cost per sale that is awesome and is really helping us. And again, I have my chat section closed here, so I don't want you to think I'm ignoring anybody, but I will try to get back to any chats that maybe come through over the next few moments. But I'm going to go down through here, show you some things. As you can see, here's our call queues. I do have them. I don't want to go through each one and what they are, but we're only working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different call queues. And only 4 of them we're getting a ton of volume from it over the past 30 days, right? So it's not like we're working a ton of call queues. We got 4 of them that are bringing in a ton of volume. I'll go down here. Difference between raw and screened. Check this out. Screen calls, we're closing at 40% right now. 40%. I know that anybody in here would love to have a 40% closing ratio on calls. Raw call, 25% we're closing at 25% on a raw call, meaning that this person was not gate kept, they were not screened. CPA, $61.20, 75.21. Reason for the higher CPA, even though we have a higher closing ratio, is because these cost more, right? These cost more. So it's still going to be a higher CPA, even though we're closing them higher. So there's a lot of room for both of these here. The screen calls, make sure that you're getting high closes. The raw calls, keep that CPA very low for you. Check out this. I have my states here that we're closing the most in. Won't spend a lot of time here, but I really get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 states here. And I could show more. I got a lot of states in there, but 10 states that most of our volume is coming from. So it's not like we're working a ton of states, but you can even see here from our first three right here, just our first three states, we've got a lot of calls coming in, and we're closing very effectively in those states. Here's something I want everybody to see. This is helpful information here. These are the agents that are actively working in here. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 agents here that are working this. 9 agents. And I want you to look at some of these numbers. Right here, these are my closing percentages. As you can see, my bottom closing percentage here, 22%. We're doing something right. 22%. Our top closing percentage right here, 49%. That's a whopping 49%. Meaning that I have an agent in here that's closing just about one of every other call in this office. You can see that CPA translates to $42 per acquisition, cost per sale, CPA there. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention here is really my top agent on here right now is this guy. His name's Dustin Higginbottom. By the way, he's only been selling for about 3 months, 4 months. You can see here, he's closing 38%, $53 CPA pretty much, 122 enrollments in the past 30 days. 122 enrollments in the past 30 days at 38%. So he's maintaining a 38% closing ratio with 122 sales, 318 calls taken, 38%. Right here, Luke Rooker. Check this out, 43% closing ratio on 191 calls taken. So it's not like these guys are taking 15 calls in a month and closing, 3, 4 of them, and getting this high closing ratio, low CPA. No, this is scalable. It is scalable. Very, very scalable. Something that you can turn into a lot of closes. Very cool stuff. As you can see here, this is my admin portal. It breaks I don't have to create any of this data. This is all stored for me. Now sales management is made easy. And that's one feature that you're all going to love, is that the sales management aspect is made easy for you. Everything you want here. I can go look at agent performance. I can even see agents on the phone right now. Or let me go here, home. I got a home. I can see here that right now it's lunchtime here, by the way. But I have 2 agents that are actively logged in. Dustin Higginbottom is currently on a call. That's at 28 minutes. So looks like he'll probably close that one here in a moment. And then I have Tyler Finley that's in wrap up. He's been in wrap up for 20 minutes. He probably actually just left it on there, went to lunch. But anyway, he was in a follow up, which means that he just made a close pretty much if he left it there. But then I have actions I can take. Chat. I can actually chat with these agents while they're on the phone. I can go and give Dustin some pointers. I can listen to his call at live, right? So this really is a great tool for sales management, not just sales, but sales management. Now, I'm not logged into my sales account. I'm my admin portal. It would take me a long time to get in the sales account, so I'm not going to do it. But the way this works is you would log into this, you would hit dialer, and you're on a page that looks like this. And then there's these options up here. It kind of looks like this button. You click that, and for your sales account, it would have some options here. It would say that you're not available right there in that moment when you first log in. You literally click available, and you wait for calls to come through. That's all you have to do. You log in, you click dialer over here. So there'll be a dialer option over here. Takes you to the dialer, and then up here where I have audio settings, you'll click that and you'll hit the available option. Once you hit that, you sit there and wait, and calls start to come through. You don't have to. You don't have to. Uh, it won't alert you. You'll just sit there and you'll hear ding ding, and then you'll start talking to the person that comes through. It is that simple. It is that simple. Really cool. Now, I want to jump into some very useful information here. What I want to do is I want to start talking about how did we get these numbers so low? How did we get these closes so low? And so let me go here, get my audio away. How did we get these numbers where they are? Because in the beginning, we were not rocking some of these numbers. Matter of fact, I'll go back and show you. I'll go to an analyst here, where my numbers are. Let me show you just our first. We started January 1st on this. I'll give you the first week that we were on it, January 1st to January 8th search. Oh, maybe we didn't start then. Let me go here. I'll just go somewhere in the beginning. I know we were at the 20th. There, the 27th. So in the beginning, you can see here, cost per sale was 115. Still closed 110 deals in the first week, which is awesome. But 115 was our cost per acquisition. So we're closing that many deals at that CPA. Now we're closing on average in a week. Let me just do last 7 days. In the last 7 days, we've done 117 deals at $64.39. I know there's a lot of you in this chat right now that if you were closing 117 deals at a $65 CPA, you would be pumped. You would be very excited. And so that's what we're going to talk about, right? That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to go address some of these questions because I've seen the chats going crazy. Norma says, I was thinking Justin said that Enroll Here was not a lead company. So does Enroll Here market it, its site, that then someone clicked? No. So Norma, great question, is not a lead company. This is the generation side. This is not, I'm sorry, this isn't the generation. This is the one that supplies you with the lead. They don't create the lead. So Enroll Here doesn't do that. They go and get the lead from a lead generation company, and they source it to you. So they're kind of like the middleman there, creating the call for you. Creating the call for you. How long do you have been doing this, and what's the retention rate? Josh, as you can see, we started around January 20th. We haven't been doing it very long, so it took very little time for us to get it perfected. The retention rate is right now very high. We don't like giving that number out just yet because we want to get 6 months in before we start sharing that. But I'm estimating that our normal retention is well above 90%. I'm estimating, projecting that we're going to see out of the policies we write, we're going to see above 80% retention. I think it'll be higher than that. I'm being very conservative for you, just because I don't want to just get up here and give you these like outlandish numbers and then not be right. But I can't tell you what it's going to look like 6 months right now. But based off what we're seeing and the projections that we have, it'll be very high. What is the fallout rate with these leads? Again, haven't been doing it long enough to give you the exact numbers on that, but I am going to tell you how we're making retention higher. How much are agents spending on this per month per total? So agents, again, the seat fee is $250 as an agent. So if you want an agent to be on there, it's $250 a month to get it, to have a seat in the dialer. And then the calls are per call. They're per call. Let's see here. Are you only generating calls in states with active SEPs? Josh, we do like to target states with DST and other SEPs. Yes, that is something that we're doing. Are you using a script? Using the script option, can you share them? There is a script option in there. We do not use Enroll Here scripting. We use ours, and I am going to share that with you. Yes, Mike. How long do you typically wait to get a call? It's a few seconds, not very long. And then I'm going to touch one more, and then we'll get back to the calls. I'll come back and address these. Who runs the ads that you get the lead from? You or someone else? The ad is created by an ad company. You do not create these ads. You're not spending any money on the marketing by using this. The money that you're spending is for the seat fee and the calls themselves, right? That's the awesome thing about it, Mark. Let me get back to training some here because I want to respect everybody's time a little bit. If you have questions, I definitely will come back and address these as we go. What I need to do here is I need to get that chat off. There we go. Very good. Well, if I can get this out of the way, y'all bear with me. I'm having some tech issues here. Oh, I can move to the bottom. Very good. I'm 30, but I'm not the greatest with computers sometimes. So I apologize. Here we go. So let's jump in here. What are some things that we're doing that are helping us? I'm going to go and pull up some of our sales tools that we're using. So I want to go in here. I'm going to open this one. Are we still seeing, what are we seeing now? I'm sharing my screen. Let me go back and share my screen. I'm going to go in here and share this now. So now I'm sharing my screen. This is literally the call flow that we're training on. This is the call flow that we created that we're training on. And it's just a little 6-step, 7-step, whatever call flow in order to help the agents go in a certain direction. We don't actually use like a full word track here with our agents. We want our agents to be themselves. We want you guys to be yourselves, you guys and gals. We don't want to make everybody robotic, but we have found a formula that gives a direction of where to go and how to make this work well. So with these calls, step one, we're opening the call. And I know you may be thinking like, okay, well, duh. Well, yeah, it's important. We're in the call and the greeting that we're training. We're using some specific strategy in order to increase our chances of closing this, but also staying compliant, right? So we're training our agents to do both. So in the beginning, you want to establish credibility, build rapport, and set the tone for productive conversation, right? How are we doing that in the greeting? Well, we're just starting with energy. Not that you have to be overly bubbly or anything. Starting with energy. And then we're taking the call and pushing it forward. That's what's very important in the greeting. We're not really sitting around letting these people tell us why they called. We're just assuming that they called because they saw a benefit. Because every single person we get on this platform is calling because they saw a benefit. So we're pushing the call forward by assuming they saw a benefit. And we will even tell them, hey, I'm sure that you saw some kind of ad about this benefit. Is that right? And they're like, yeah, okay, perfect. Well, I'm the person that can help you with that. We're also stating that it's a recorded call. We're stating that we're a Medicare agent because those are the compliant points that you got to do. And it also builds credibility. So it's really helping with the customer experience. But it's very important right here. Pro tips: speak confidently and assumptively. Act as if you expect to help them. That is so important. What we're doing in the beginning of this call is we're talking with this energy of like, I am the guy that's going to help you. I am the gal that's going to help you today. I absolutely can help you achieve your goal of what this call was. That's what we're going to do today. Personalize the conversation by engaging in light rapport building. Notice the key word there, light. A lot of agents who are struggling with this start trying to build a ton of rapport in the beginning. That's not necessarily the direction that we're going with this. We're using light rapport building, and the rapport building is really just me educating, our agents educating in a different way than what these people are used to hearing when they take a normal Medicare call, right? They're used to hearing someone go into this fact finding section extremely quickly and not really taking time to really educate them and to listen to them and express how they're going to help them with their needs. And then last thing here, keep the pace steady to maintain control over the call. We are really finding that straight line selling is what's helping close at such a high rate and producing such big numbers for us. Pace steady, not moving too slow, not moving too fast, staying at a steady pace. And this call script or this call flow that I have here is going to be what helps you do that. Handling the hook. One thing that we're doing with this group, and one thing that we have started doing in all of our sales processes now here in our office, is adding something called a hook. Everybody comment hook in the comment section for me. We're adding now a hook. We're adding a hook. Go to version 4 is what I've been told here. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Thank you, Jacob. We're adding what's called a hook. Greeting, establish credibility, warm rapport. Here we go. Hook. Haha, this is the one I wanted. Hook, value framing plus cost saving psychology. This is the main difference between us and then agencies that are maybe struggling a little bit. We are building a hook for all these calls. We're building value in other benefits. Let's call it what it is. These people are calling you over a benefit. They're not calling you to learn about T65 information, Medicare for the first time. With Enroll Here, these people are going to call you based off a benefit. They want a food card or they want to get something that's going to give them more money back, whatever. That's what they're going to call about. What we're doing is we're building a hook. We're building value here. And it's based off of the idea of what they called us is not the real problem. Let me explain. If somebody calls me and they're looking for a food card, what's the real problem? Anybody want that, Brian? Yes, I can send you that. Can anybody tell me what the actual problem is if somebody's calling me about a food card? What's their actual problem? Ryan says low income. Yes, very true, Ryan. It is low income, short on money, low income, right? That's exactly right. It's that they have low income, they want money back, right, Will? Will's in here, he's training, he knows. It is that they have low income and groceries are expensive. So many agents right now, when they get to this part of the conversation, they start focusing way too much on the food card. Like they start educating on food cards and how, listen, most of the people we're closing on here, I actually don't end up getting a food card. They don't. So I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time here educating on what a food card is and how they can get it, and they don't even qualify for one later, right? What I do here is I build a hook, I build a value. And the hook, if I can simplify it for you, is that it is a movie trailer of what I'm going to do for them in the call. And it's going to give a 3,000-foot overview of all the possible benefits that they could possibly, again, I use the word possibly twice there, possibly qualify for. Let me explain. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm going to tell Mrs. Jones what the real problem is. Mrs. Jones, I understand that the cost of groceries have gone up significantly. I'm with you. The cost of milk and eggs is outrageous now. It's very high. I'm with you, Mrs. Jones. And what I want to do today is I want to review all your Medicare benefits in order to see where we can save you money that you can reinvest into groceries. The good news is that may be a food card, like you called about. That may be just money that you can get back from groceries. That may be something called a Part B give back, which is money that they put back in your Social Security to reimburse for your Part B premium. It may be saving you money on premiums, or maybe today I can save you money on drug coverage. Whatever it is, Mrs. Jones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all your benefits, see how we can save you up to $100 a month that you can reinvest back into groceries. That sounds good, doesn't it, Mrs. Jones? Yes, it does, right? So what I'm doing is I'm setting the expectation that my job today is to save them money that they can reinvest back into groceries, but it may not be through a food card. I'm setting that expectation early on. And I've done two things here. Number one, I've kept myself from being pigeonholed in the food card. Now I've given myself an opportunity to sell other benefits. But on top of that, I've now created this expectation of a Medicare call with this client. Now they're not going to give me objections later of like, Why are we talking about Medicare again? Why are you asking me about Medicare? Now they know. I'm reviewing your Medicare today. I'm reviewing your Medicare benefits to see how we can get money back for groceries. And yes, it is important that we're talking about investing that back into groceries because they called about grocery card. They called about groceries. So in their mind right now, what they're thinking about is saving money toward groceries. That's why it says cost saving psychology here. I'm really honing in on the idea that we want to save money towards groceries, is what I'm honing in on. Then that takes us, after we've established this hook right here, and that only takes really 30 to 60 seconds, by the way. This doesn't take a long time. I'm sitting here hammering at home with you, but it doesn't take a long time. It goes into our CMS scope of appointment, right? Seamless compliance, which then translates into our needs assessment. And I tell people all the time that needs assessment is actually, this is where being a great sales agent comes into check or comes into play. Are you asking the right questions? Are you getting the information you need to make a good recommendation to this beneficiary, to this customer? That's where this comes into play. These sections up here, you need to be a good salesman, right? You need to be a good salesman, and then you can become a great agent who starts getting all the information. So many agents that get on here and struggle with enroll here in the beginning, they try to be a great agent right here. They start getting fact finding information right here. They start getting all the Medicare information about this person right here. And that's holding them up. Build some credibility, build some excitement right here by using this right here. Greeting and then a hook, a movie trailer of how you're going to help them. Then become a great agent. You don't have to do it for long. The greeting and the hook together may be 2 minutes long into the call. You're not far at all because we got to read our disclaimers and our scopes, right? So we're doing this really quickly. Going into that, now a meat of our call, the majority of our call is right here. We get to be good agents. We just got to be good salespeople for a moment. And this is how we're doing it. And then I come in, I get a needs assessment. I'm asking questions. This is the stuff that you guys are already doing very well. You're asking, hey, are you part A and B? Hey, what do you like about your plan? What's important to you? Do you like your dental vision hearing? What doctors are you using? What medicines are you taking? Right? We're asking all of that. How's your health? Do you make your own healthcare decisions? All that good stuff that makes you a good agent, all the questions that help you be a good agent, that's where we're doing this, right? This is where we're doing this. Deep rapport questions, eligibility check, all that jazz. Become a good agent for a little bit right here. That should take some time. This should be 15 to 20 minutes of your call right in here, somewhere there, because you're doing such good due diligence right here. Plan presentation. Now I'm going to start presenting a plan. And framing is a big part of what we're closing in here, why we're closing so well. We're picking a plan based off of this conversation right here. This is helping us pick a plan to present to this person. Based off what we've learned about them through each of our phases, we now pick a plan to present to them. And we start presenting the plan, but you're going to see this word right here, framing, right? Framing. Uh-oh, I did something there. Sorry, Jacob. I'll fix it. There we go. Framing. That's a huge word. So many people now, when they get into these call flows, they start comparing the person's current plan to the plan that they want to sell them, and they don't really frame it the right way. And where we're seeing a lot of success is just framing it the right way. Let me give you the most simple way to do that. And you guys can absolutely get set up with us on the trainings that we do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We can make that stuff happen so you can get deeper dives of this. But the framing is literally the most simple way to put it is you want to talk about the great things about the plan you're presenting first and then present the good things. What a lot of agents are doing that are struggling with this is they get in there, they present the great things, and then they present the bad things. There's no such thing as a bad thing with these plans. That is one thing that a lot of agents struggle with thinking is that there's bad parts of these Medicare Advantage plans. There's not. They're benefits. Everything, even a higher max out of pocket is still a benefit. It is. And so what we're doing is we're getting in here, we're presenting the great things. Like, what are the things that caught their attention? Well, if I'm able to give them a Part B give back and that's got their attention, then I'm gonna hammer that home first. Present the great things. Mrs. Jones, we're gonna get you that cash back in your pocket. You're gonna get $100 and something dollars. You're gonna get $80. You're gonna get $50 a month put back in your Social Security check that you can use toward groceries, food, food cards, or not food cards. You can use it towards groceries, gas. It's even better than the food card you called about because you can use it whatever you want to. Utilities, it's just money back in your pocket. And then we're going to present the good things. Mrs. Jones, you still have a max out of pocket of $8,000 on this plan. You still have a $0 tier one drug cost since you're using this pharmacy. You still have a $20 specialist copay. You still have a $0 primary copay. You still have X copay for hospital, right? You notice the biggest difference that I'm using here is that we're saying still. It's not that we're presenting like, oh, you used to have this, now you have this. No, it's, hey, you're getting $100 a month back, plus your copay for this is going to be lower. Maybe the conversation is not Part B get back. Maybe I'm going to sell them on the idea that their drugs will be lower on this plan. Mrs. Jones, you're going to save X amount of dollars on your drug cost, your drug formulary with this plan, and you're still going to have a max out of pocket of $8,000. You're still going to get X amount on dental, vision, hearing. We're just framing this as this is great and good. It's not great and bad. It's not pros and cons. It's, hey, you're getting additional coverage and still keeping this. That's how we're presenting it. Even if the copays change a little bit, they're still keeping a copay. If the copay from a specialist goes from 30 to 50, they're still keeping a $50 specialist copay. They're not losing it. It's just going to be a little more, right? But if I present it as, hey, Mrs. Jones, we're going to save you $100 a quarter on the cost of your medications through this formulary, and you're still going to have a $50 specialist copay, and they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Well, then we're good, right? We've sold them on the plan. So it's great and good. Then that takes us to the test close. I am a firm believer in test closing. A lot of you are not test closing enough, right? Our agents aren't test closing enough. Instead of going right into a close, instead of jumping right into a close like, hey, Mrs. Jones, do you want this? Yes or no? We start saying things like, Mrs. Jones, in order to get this ready for June 1st, July 1st of 2025, I just need your street address that you want the card sent to, right? Excuse me. I just need the street address that you want the card sent to. And so at that point, Mrs. Jones is going to do one of two things. She's either going to give me the street address because she's ready to proceed forward, or she's going to tell me, whoa, 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 wait a minute, But I haven't straight up asked her, do you want the plan yet? I hadn't got a yes or no on that. I just now know, is this lady ready to give us information in order to close this deal? If she gives me that information, then yeah, I go ahead and put it in, and then I ask for the next bit of information I need on the application. I just start processing an application at that point. And if she keeps giving me information, if he keeps giving me information, I fill it all the way out. And then at the very end, I go, okay, Mrs. Jones, I have every bit of information I need in order to get this plan started for you for June 1st. All I need to do is put this through. Are you ready for that? Right? Whatever way you want to ask that. The way we're asking is, Mr. Jones, I have all the information I need to process this application for June 1st. I'm going to go ahead and put this in for you. You'll go ahead and get your cards in the next 2 weeks. That all sound good to you? Yes, it does. Perfect. Got you ready to go, Mrs. Jones. Right? So we close it after we test close. We test close over and over and over until we have all the information for the application. And then there's objection handling here. I've actually simplified this since then. Objection handling is going to be, it's going to be handled by, really, I call it AAA. This is just easy for you guys to understand how to overcome objections. I'm going to just touch this really quickly. It's not a good meat of the call. But the way we're handling objections with this call or with these calls is we're doing AAA. It's address, agree, assure. You address the objection, you agree with them, and then you assure them that what you're doing is going to keep that objection from happening. Jackson, I love my current doctors. I don't want to lose my doctors. Mrs. Jones, I am addressing, and I don't actually say the words address, agree, and sure, but I'm doing it for you guys to see how we're doing it. I addressing your concern here. Your concern is that you want to keep your doctors. I totally agree that we want to keep your doctors where they are too. I don't want you to lose your doctors. That's why, and I assure you, that's why I'm using the tools that I'm using here to make sure that your doctors are still preferred doctors with any plan that we're looking at for you. So it's address, agree, assure. You don't actually have to say the words address, agree, assure as you're going. I was doing that to show you the illustration. But then finally, we close it out. Personal confirmation, reassurance. In other words, we're just doing our compliance stuff at the end to follow up and make sure that we're closing these at a great rate. Real quickly, I do want to share with you because I told you that we are getting better and better and better on even compliance. Compliance has been made simple. Do y'all see this? Are y'all seeing my compliant? What am I sharing right now? Let me make sure. Yeah. Wait. No, it's not. Let me share this. Now you're seeing my Medicare sales compliance checklist, right? Perfect. All right. Let me get the comments on. There we go. Here's our checklist of key compliance points. Of course, we have so much more than this, but what we're finding out is that from a compliance standpoint, it really is simple. It's just an introduction that introduces yourself, states that the call is recorded, and verifies the caller's purpose. Collect basic info, verify caller's identity, obtain callback permission, confirm caller makes their own medical decisions, power of attorney, future contact preferences. Qualification check, confirm eligibility, Medicare's Part A and B. Check further health coverage and determine election period. Scope of appointment, read that. Yeah, you read your scope of appointment, read your TPO disclaimer, TPMO. Scope of our needs assessment, ask about hospital, doctors, prescriptions, travel, additional covers needs. Plan presentation. Only present plans after confirming eligibility, clearly disclose costs, network restrictions, and plan details. Closing the sale. Confirm caller's understanding and verify readiness for enrollment. Enrollment process. Read required disclosures. Confirm plan selection. Complete forms and provide next steps. Closing the call. Provide contact information and end call professionally. Number 10, key compliance reminders for agents. TPMO disclaimer, verbatim. Do not proceed without a scope of appointment. Do not mislead, pressure, or imply government affiliation. Do not collect Social Security, bank, or Medicare numbers unless enrolling. Ensure the caller has a valid election period, and the record and retain the entire call as required. This is based off of the calls that we're seeing, that we're having. It's also based off of the enrollhere.academy.com compliance checklist. So Enroll Here has a compliance AI that will grade your calls based on compliance. It'll grade it on call opening, all these different things, scope appointment, how well you did. So what we did is we went to this tool that they have called compliance.academy, and we looked at the things that the AI is looking for, specifically the words that they're looking for, in order to have a compliant call. And now we got it. And that's where our compliance checklist comes from. And so our agents are just making sure that they're doing this every call right here. And these are things that you're already doing. We're all already doing this. We're all doing these things. The flow that I showed you, it's got these things included. We're all already doing this. And to give you a little bit of encouragement, I know one of the things that people get worried about when you're working this kind of lead flow is like complaints and them going up. Yeah, sure. The complaints go up a little bit when you're working this lead flow. But does anybody want to guess in here how many founded complaints we have on Enroll Here? Anybody want to, based off of leads that we've worked that have come through Enroll Here? I'm on a call real quick. Has anybody want to guess how many we had? Perfect. Zero, zero, zero. You are correct. If your answer is zero, you are correct. We've had zero founded complaints based off of the leads that we've closed on Enroll Here. Zero founded complaints. Matter of fact, we have one founded complaint in the past 2 years from an agent in office, And it was off of a seminar T65 lead from someone who lives in our town. Say what you want, right? But zero founded complaints through the lead flow that we're working in Enroll Here. Zero. Because we're doing it compliantly. We're having these conversations, and you can close very well. You're getting rid of the prospecting. You're getting rid of the headache of calling all these people, creating marketing, right? That you're hoping produces X amount of leads. Nothing wrong with that. We still do it. We still have seminars. We still generate leads on Facebook. We're just filling in our time with Enroll Here for agents, right? I showed you on Enroll Here that in the past week, we had 117 closes. That really is about 150 applications because we cross sell too. So 150 applications. But last week, we had over 300 applications in total because we're working other things too. I know a lot of you would just love to be able to fill in your time. If you would love to, if you would be able to love to fill, if you would be able to, if you would love to be able to fill in your spare time, the downtime that you have in your workday by closing additional apps, say me in the comments. That's what I want to hear, right? Who in here loves the idea of being able to close deals in your downtime? That is what Enroll Here does. That's what Enroll Here does. It's giving us the ability to work leads in our downtime. We're not recommending anybody shut off what their business has been doing, right? That's not what we're doing. But I know everybody in here has downtime. I know everybody does because I did, right? And being able to come in here in my work day when I'm not necessarily actively prospecting, calling, whatever, and I'm able to get in here and do this, it has changed even our business. We're doubling what we were doing last year, and we were doing a lot already. We were. So that's my spiel. I'm going to go through here, answer questions. I'm going to open it up for questions. You are welcome to go ahead and start asking. I do want to say that to get it set up, how easy is it to turn on the subscription off and on? It's fairly easy, Jeremy. Let me go ahead and tell you to get started with Enroll Here, we actually can help with that. We have a guy named Jeff. We have a guy named Jeff in here. And Jeff will literally, if you decide you want to move forward with Enroll Here, you let us know, you send us an email, whatever. Jeff will send you a spreadsheet that you will fill out. It'll ask for your name, MPN, states that you want licensed in, all this stuff. You'll see it on there. It'll ask for this information. You will send that back to us. We'll get with Enroll Here and get you set up. And then you'll get an email a few days later with your profile, your portal information, how to log in. It's that easy. Now, turning it off and on, at that point, I mean, turning it off means that you would have to get out of your subscription. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some difficulty turning it on and off. I would never recommend that. But if you don't take calls, you're not spending money on calls. So if you're willing to pay the $250 a month for the seat, right? You pay your $250 a month to have your seat within the portal, and you just don't take calls, well, then you're not getting charged for calls. You're just paying the $250 a month. Is what you're paying. Turning it off and on, I don't know, just my mind right now, just seeing it. I don't know how efficient that would be because maybe you turn it off and then you want to turn it on later. That can be, I think, a little, but I'm sure it's not hard. It's just an email, really. Send us an email. We send it to Enroll Here. They turn it off, and then they can turn it back on. So it's actually going to be very easy. Let me go in here. How may we get a copy of the call script? I'm going to send my email in here. If Will's still in here, Will, can you also comment your email for everybody? Mine is just jackson@bobbybrockinsurance.com. Send me an email if you want a copy of the stuff that we talked about today. Here we go. Can we get a copy of the compliance checklist? Yeah, scripts, Mark, just like Mike asked. I can do that. How many hours per week would make sense for an agent? Betsy, that's up to you. That's the beautiful thing about this. It depends on what you want out of it. I mean, I have legacy agents in here. So my legacy agents are the guys that are working our local branded stuff. They're working our seminar leads. They're getting an average of like 5 hours a week on this, closing an extra 5 apps a week because of it. I would say that's the formula that's more important is every hour you spend on here should equal about one app, right? Every hour you spend logged in should equal one app once you get pretty good at it. So if you want to fill in your time and get 10 extra apps a week, well then 2 hours a day should get that done for you. And when I say 2 hours a day, that doesn't seem like a whole lot, does it? Very doable. Kevin, can I get Jeff's information just looking to hop off for an appointment? Kevin, yes. I would just do this, Kevin. Email me, Jackson at Bobby Brock Insurance. Jackson at Bobby Brock Insurance, Kevin. Do you have to be a downline of BBI to get your help on enroll here? You don't have to be a downline in order to get into enroll here. No, we can get you set up on enroll here without being in downline for us. That wouldn't be an issue at all. Also, you can join our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday training. So that's a good thing. Now, I do private training sessions for agents and agencies. Obviously, we cut deals for our downline partners, but we can still do training. We just may have to charge, more than what we would a downline partner for that, Michael. But no, you don't have to be a downline to get help, to get BBI to help with that enroll here. I would love for you to email me. If you want to get set up, let us know. We'll get you set up. And we'll get you the link to join our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday training that we talk about a lot of this for the same pricing. No, Brandon, it is a $250 seat fee no matter what. No matter what. Here, Justin says this. My biggest issue is available election codes. What election codes are your agents using to close almost every other call? With not being able to use LIS, Medicaid as much, have these people calling in T65, CSNP, etc. No, Justin. First of all, I only got one agent that's closing that high, by the way. But we're using, I mean, it's a multiple things. T65, CSNP, disaster, right? Disaster is a big one. Some of these guys they're able to identify that these people have SPAP, right? A lot of agents don't go that far into the conversation to identify that. State Pharmaceutical Assistance Program, loss of, whatever. Maybe this person's moved. I mean, it's just being educated in all of them and using the sales call to create that election period for yourself. That's the important key there is creating the election period for yourself. Like if I ask the person like, hey, do you have any special election periods? I don't know what I'm talking about. But if I start saying some things like, hey, have you recently had this happen, this happen, this happen? Eventually they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's happened. Okay, perfect. And we're able to do this because of that. So it's using the election periods that we know and applying them in the call and creating some of that urgency with the election periods. Kim Falbo, what are the busiest days of inbound calls? Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday they're all very, very busy. Saturdays, not as busy, but it's still very good. Hadn't had a guy try it on Sunday yet, I don't think. Deanna's, are we charged with calls up front? No. So that's a good question. Well, you can be. Good question, Deanna. There are two options when it comes to billing. You can actually prepay. You can set up X amount on your account that you want to set up and then take calls with that amount. So if I want to put $500 in, I can put $500 in and I can start taking calls and it'll just take that amount that I owe out of the money that I set up. Most commonly, though, what people are doing is they're taking calls throughout the month, and at the end of the month, we actually bill for it. So BBI will send you a bill, and you will actually settle that bill with us, and that'll be through Jeff. There's Will's email, by the way. My email is Jackson at BobbyBrockInsurance.com. I'll actually type that in here real quick. Jackson at BobbyBrockInsurance.com. Boom. Let me go back here. Let me find. I know there's questions coming in. I'm trying so hard for you guys. I was thinking in terms of availability to turn calls on and off during the day week so they don't come in. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Michael. So that's easy. in the portal itself, where you click to go available, when you're done taking calls, you click unavailable. So you just click that button at the top and then you click unavailable. Matter of fact, let me see if I can. Let me answer some questions, and then if anybody wants to stay and see that process, I'll let you stay and see. I know some people got to jump off. We've been here for an hour, a little over an hour. Is there a minimum spend? No, Tara. There's no minimum spend. You can take the least amount of calls, most amount of calls you want to. When in the call do you figure out the SCP? We do that in the fact finding eligibility stage. So after we read our scope of appointment, we start the fact finding. That's where we start doing the SCP stuff. What's the downtime between calls? Jeremy, that depends on how many states you put in there and how many call flows you set up. Our downtime between calls is like 2 minutes, very little. Now, that's if we don't close anything. If we close something, of course, the agent has to go through and disposition everything. So it may make it 10 minutes, but that's on the agent. It's not on enroll here. Enroll here, you get a call. When you go to available, we're seeing about 2 minutes. How many states do you recommend we target for calls? Wes, I would say however many states you're comfortable with. I mean, at least if you're licensed in 10, I would go 10. Do you guys work Arizona? Ryan, we do work Arizona. We do. We don't have a lot of the call flow coming from Arizona, but we do work Arizona. Can you accept calls 24/7? Tammy, absolutely. You can accept calls 24/7. The problem is the beneficiaries may not be up, so they may not be taking a lot of calls. However, Dustin, the guy that's closing like a madman, he'll work here from 9 to 5, taking calls, go eat dinner, and then come back up here and work. And he actually closes a lot of his calls between 6 to 11 p.m. doing that. How do we get access from Franco? Franco, email me, or you can email Will, who put it in here. Is your monthly fee starting from first or the actual day you enroll? It is from the first. It'll be the first, Michael. You'll pay your first, or no, I guess that'll be a question for Jeff. Michael, that's a good question. If you were to start in the middle of the month, I see what you're saying. Would I have to pay 250 for the? That'll be a question for Jeff that we can ask. But I would assume that you're not going to pay 250 and then turn around and pay 250 2 weeks later. What's your email, brother Jackson? Kevin, I put it in there. I'm guessing you asked that before I put that in there. Richard, is this a Brock owned platform? It is not a Brock owned platform. It is not. The reason you saw the BBI in the platform is because they will white label it for you. So you can actually have your company logo put in your version of the dialer. But it is not a Brock owned platform. Are there better times, afternoon, evening? Jason, we're seeing pretty consistent numbers throughout the day. Michael, again, how long do you typically wait on calls? Okay, I answered that now. States answered that. What is this called? Once again, Ryan, it's called enroll here. Enroll here. Are you getting a cut of the payment for leads monthly? No, we do not get a cut of your leads or the monthly subscription. U equals BBI. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. No, we're not getting a cut of that. No. Enroll here gives us an admin like fee thing, but that doesn't come from your subscription or your lead cost. We don't get any of that. Is BBI billing for leads? Curious, what is BBI's relationship with Enroll here? BBI will bill leads for people who get it through us, right? But we don't bill it for every person that's in Enroll here. We do that as a service to people who get the seat fee through us. And that's where we get the admin fee at. That's why the relationship's there. Also, Justin and Tyler Reese and all of us at BBI, his whole team, our whole team, we have a very good relationship, and we just believe in this platform very, very much. It's helped us grow our business. We want to help our partners do the same as well. What are the start and stop times of the inbound call leads? There is no start and stop time. Our agents are required to work from 9 to 5, but there is no start and stop time. They don't turn them on or off throughout the day. Ruben says, thanks for the training. Have a great day. Thank you. Here we go. Where can we see the campaign options? That will actually be a conversation that you start having as you get into the actual portal. That's where we're seeing that. Do you work Illinois? Kathleen, we actually do not work a lot of Illinois. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Is there a contract for this, or can we start and stop whenever we like? There is no contract. There is no contract. You can start and stop anytime you like, Justin. And I do appreciate everybody staying on. I do want to answer these. I'm going as it is interface with Go Guru. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. When you pay the two, is that per agent? Yes, Tammy, that is per agent. It's not per state. It is one. It is one $250 seat fee. I'll tell you what, we're getting a whole lot of questions at this point. Oh, I'm towards the end of it. Here, I'll read this last one then. How do the how do the voice enrollments work? Don't most carriers make you conference them in special, or some not even allow it? We're telling people there's two options here. If you have less than 10 agents, then you need to continue to use like the text enrollment. We're using Sunfire, the text enrollment or the email enrollment. If you have more than 10 agents, we're using Sunfire Blaze, which has the voice enrollment, and it's working for all of our carriers. So that's really depending on your agency. All right. Perfect. So at this point, I'm seeing a lot of things that are just perfect. There we go. Jackson or in team enroll here told us there was 1 year contract, $1,500 a month. Uh, okay, let's see here. Thank you. Lance, I have not heard of any contracts. We have not seen any contracts. We've enrolled a lot of people and there have not been any contracts involved. Perfect. All righty. So at this point, I am going to wrap this up. I know a lot of people need to get off. If you have any additional questions, please email me, email Will. If you want to get set up, email me, email Will. Do you guys use an SCP spreadsheet? No, not really. Not really. We don't really use one of those, but I can set up if you want to set up some training. By the way, not just enroll here. You can email us about enroll here, but if you would like to get a link to our Zoom call, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Zoom call on sales training, email us about that too. Email us about that too. You can send it to Will at BobbyBrockInsurance.com or Jackson at BobbyBrockInsurance.com. We'll get that set up. But it's a free link, or for our partners. I'll have to see how much it is to people who are not partners with us. There's a link to our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday call. Right. And I do think it has a fee. It may be like a $90 fee. That Jacob would know that. Can you link this with Go Guru? Enroll here. There may be something in the future, but right now it is its own thing. Of course, we're bringing that into us and how we do this. This could be huge in AEP. You're absolutely right, Adrian. We can't wait to use it there. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for being here. Hope you found this helpful. I hope you see that there is value for everyone on this platform and that we're willing to help people enhance it and make it the most that it can be. We want to help you guys get there, and we would love to be a part of that success for you. So if you do see that you want to get in there, right here, Will's he's the best one to ask Go Guru questions. Bill, we're developing the integration as we speak. There you go. Very good. So please send an email. If you're interested in getting set up, send an email to Will or myself on enroll here. If you want to get the link for the training, again, send the email to Will or myself. If you have additional questions, compile them up into an email, send it to me or Will. Thanks, Jackson and BBI. Very excited about Go Guru integration enroll here. Very good, Tara. Thank you. We're excited too. We're excited too. Anyway, I'm going to jump off. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all have a great day. Any other questions, any setup, whatever, y'all have a great day. Email us. We're here to help. Thank you so much.